Look at Myro. We're going to take a look at that chart in a second, but got some stuff for you guys to get pretty pumped up about, right? This Bitcoin dominance. We've been waiting to take it out for quite a long time. Moving down here to a very key level that once this level is taking out, this thing should absolutely plummet. All right, we come in here. Let's go on a 4 hour. Alright, you can see this thing is moving back down towards the downside. Came up here to this resistance level. That's where it got rejected. You had the breakthrough, then a retest, then a rollover. You can see inside here. Alright, I was counting these waves in here. 1, 2, 3, 4. It's coming down for a fifth wave. Is this fifth wave going to take out this bottom? Alright, first off, it will take out this trend line, it looks. We have a trend line coming down through here, acting as support, and support here, support here, and support here. All right, 1, 2, 3 touches on this line right up here. Now, the target for this, if we come here, should be 59.11. All right, what's that going to do? Well, that's going to put us pretty close down here to a double bottom on this thing, right? Right down here. We need that to break, right? This is right at about 59, call it 59.1. All right, we take out that low. This thing should really start plummeting. But, the target is right down towards this bottom here. So do we get a double bottom and bounce around a little bit more? I don't know. That's the big question here. If we come in on a daily, take a look at the RSI, looking pretty weak, right? It is looking weak. And we have a bigger wave right up here that should take this out. All right, we get a measurement up here on this wave up here. You're looking at 59.98. That should break it. Well, what we're looking for is something like this. All right, a break through this level, back test. See you later, gone. And the reason I really believe this is going to plummet once it gets there, if you come back over here, all right, to the last alt season, right over here, we are in that same exact area. Okay. Right down here, it had this low to take out. If we come in on a weekly and take a look at this, was this low right here? All right, we're going to circle that. Look at a weekly chart, come back over here, and you can see it absolutely, once it took this low out right here on this prior, get that right on there. And we come in then on a daily, move back over here. Alright, you can see what happened in here. It's exactly what happened over here. Alright, you got the break down right here. You got the retest and then the rollover. Okay, so that's exactly what we want to see here. That's right here. This happened. You got the breakdown. You got the run back up for the retest, and then it finally rolled over. All right, that's what we're looking for here. Whoops, sorry about that. Always forget to right click that to get that off there. Now that's what we're looking for back over where we're at now. Way over here in 2025. All right, right here, and we are right in that area. We look at the weekly RSI, right down at the very bottom here, but that monthly, that's the big one. Okay, it's heading straight down. All right, we have broke this white line. That was support for a very, very long time here. We have broke it. It went back up and retested it. If you come in on a weekly, you can see that break a little bit better. All right, you see a touchdown here. 1, 2, 3, and we got the break right up here. All right, see if we pull this up a little bit. We can even make this a 1 so you can see it just a little bit better. There we go. Make that a 1. All right, you see that touch here, the break of that support. That's huge, absolutely massive. And what the bigger picture here, you can see it. 1, 2, and this should be, sort of a third wave. 4, 5, hard to say where that'll go. But we're looking for a pretty big drop here in dominance. This thing should head down, at least back down to these prior lows back over here. Okay, this one back over here ended up dropping. Please hit that like and subscribe, guys. I apologize. I put videos out yesterday, 46%. One back over here dropped a lot more. But if we even do 46%, that's going to put us, right back down. Right back down to these prior lows, this low over here. I'm expecting it to actually head down here, down towards 30%, something like that. So we have a long ways to go, for an alt season once this breaks. But it is that time. Absolutely, 100% that time. We got that back test in there, that retest that we were looking for. The break of the major support right here. The break, retest, and rejection. Just a matter of when it decides to go and start piling up the dominance towards the altcoins. Now Myro has broke a resistance here. Pull this in nice and tight, and you can see that break. You had to touch up here, right down through here. It kept getting rejected, and finally it has broken through. Now this is probably going to pull down here for a retest and then bounce. That should bounce right out of here. A measurement on this wave here, you had 5 waves down, and you can see clearly very, very close to a bottom here. Looks like you could have one more push in here. If we come in a little bit closer, like on a 30-minute, I don't know if that was good enough or not, but right inside of this wave here, you should have 5 waves. You should have 1, 2, 3, 4. Was that the 5th there, or does this final one push down here to this 0.023? You're gonna have to keep an eye on that. But it looks like, because you can see it in here. Let's look at this real quick. You got 1, 2 right there, 3. This might be 4 right here, and then 5 down to this 0.023, possibly. I would expect on a break though, just to have a retest on this line right here. It's going on a 15-minute. Have to see what happens once it gets back down to this. You did have a break and retest right there though too. Let's see here. This line looks like it needs to be out just a hair more, right? Let's get a touch up here in 15 minutes. And right about there, it looks like. Alright, we zoom in on this thing. On a 15-minute, we got this touch up here. We put a Fibonacci on this. This should, might come up right down here. If this is going to bounce, it's going to come down here to this 0.024 area and go. Alright, 15-minute RSI right at the very top and heading down. Zoom in a little closer. 10-minute heading straight down. 5-minute also heading straight down. But we're looking for a bounce here and to get out of here, right? This thing has just been beaten down, beaten down, beaten down. We're at that 50% right now. It could start bouncing out of here anytime. All right, it has broke that resistance. Don't know. There we go. Starting to push a little bit. The 1 hour heading to the upside. I just don't know if we have that fifth wave in here yet. That one last final push or not. We got this measurement right here. Do we get this final push down to 0.023 and then get going? Is this going to be a fake out and it pushes down back inside this? It very well could be. A liquidity grab right here. No question. They happen, guys. 100%. If it doesn't bounce here at 0.024, all right, look for a bounce around 0.023, right around there, and this thing should be heading back to the upside. All right, that should be a bottom then. We come in on a 4 hour. Got that 4 hour RSI. Looks absolutely fantastic right at the very bottom here. Where we're at right now, we're at a very good support level. No doubt about it. Right through there. The 8 hour, still correcting, coming down. 12 hour, right at the very bottom. Looks great. The daily, still coming down. Right, you got that daily RSI still coming down. This thing, once this correction is over, we should have a push up to the upside here. This thing should be heading up towards, right up around that 4-cent region. 4 cents. And this wick over here is legit. I've looked at every other chart, and this wick is 100% legit. If you go up a bit, that will put this thing up towards the 5-cent area. But we're not going to go up that one. We're going to go up this one here, and look for 4 cents. What that would be here then is you would have 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. All right. And what we want to do overall, we want to flip this yellow line into support. That was the high over here. You want to see this break through this resistance up here, right at 428, 43. All right, right over here. You want to see a break of that. It's got rejected here, here. You want to flip that into support, and then we can move up to the next level. All right, so keep an eye on Myro here. It looks like it's getting ready to go. Take a Fibonacci. Without that big long wick, we're not going to use that. We're getting right in that bounce area, 618. So getting ready to take off here pretty soon. This thing should be heading back to the upside soon. Let's get going here, man. This alt season's getting ready to go, guys. Thank you so much. Please hit that like and subscribe. Come sign up for level 3 membership and trade with us in Discord. I'll talk to you soon.